Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're embarking on a journey, really, that promises to fundamentally shift how you think about something we all deal with every single day.
hmm
Money.
hmm
We're diving into The Energy of Money by Maria Nemeth, PhD.
Yeah,
And trust me, this isn't your typical financial self-help book.
that's absolutely right. Maria Nemeth doesn't offer just financial tips. She posits that our relationship with money is really a mirror of our relationship with life itself.
Interesting.
This deep dive will invite you to see your financial path not as, a chore, but as a genuine hero's journey, one rich with trials, triumphs, and profound self-discovery. It's about empowering you to live a life of fulfillment.
Right. Our mission today is to extract the core wisdom from Nemeth's work, laying out the exact route to a more powerful, more joyful relationship with money, and showing you how to bring your biggest goals and dreams into physical reality.
Yeah.
Consider this your shortcut to understanding the deeper currents of abundance.
Okay, so let's start with a foundational concept. It really underpins everything in Nemeth's approach. This idea of two distinct realities.
Two realities, okay.
First, we have physical reality. This is the tangible world we inhabit, where energy takes form, things have density, and are subject to time, space, impermanence, like a glass of water, or even balancing a checkbook.
This stuff you can touch and measure.
Exactly. It's the Newtonian level of cause and effect, and it's where all our actions ultimately manifest.
And the second one,
That's metaphysical reality. This is where energy is free-flowing, unbounded. It's the home of pure ideas, pure potentiality.
like imagination.
Yes, exactly. The realm of imagination, visions, intentions. When you're brainstorming or just dreaming big about what could be, you're in metaphysical reality. Maria Nemeth describes these ideas as almost like puffs of energy, full of exciting potential.
Okay, I get that. But where's the disconnect? Why don't all those great ideas just happen?
Well, here's where a common pitfall arises. Nemeth calls it metafizzling.
Metafizzling. I like that.
Right. It's the delusion that positive thoughts alone will manifest physical results. The idea that if you just think about being wealthy, money will magically appear.
Yeah, I think so many of us fall into that trap. So if positive thoughts aren't enough, what is the missing piece? How do we bridge that gap between the metaphysical puff and, well, actual results?
It's the crucial footwork in physical reality. Nemeth clarifies that while we do need to clear ourselves in the metaphysical realm, releasing limiting beliefs, clarifying our intentions, we must then take authentic action.
Action, okay.
She gives this great example of Barbara, a graphic artist. Barbara managed to break her limiting belief that she couldn't charge more than $500 for a project, which is huge, right?
Yeah, that's a big mental shift.
But even after that internal shift, she still had to do things, make sales calls, negotiate, sign contracts, actually manifest those larger jobs in the physical world.
That makes perfect sense. It's not enough to just believe you can get the big contract. You have to actually go get it.
Precisely. And this leads us directly to goals. Nemeth says goals aren't just wishful thinking. They're literal projections of your deeper life's intentions into physical reality.
Projections, okay.
Without them, those intentions remain unfulfilled, and that can lead to frustration. But when you anchor a goal in a profound intention, like buying a house, maybe to be financially successful.
Or, her example, taking your kids to Disneyland to be a great dad.
Exactly. Then achieving it brings genuine joy. Not just relief, but joy.
Okay, so we have our intention, we set our goal, we're ready to take action. But it's not always smooth sailing, is it?
Not at all. As you embark on this hero's journey, Nemeth says you'll inevitably face what she calls trouble at the border.
Trouble at the border. What does that mean exactly?
It's that shock or maybe even a sense of dread that happens when a fluid idea from the metaphysical realm hits the dense energy requirements of physical manifestation.
Like hitting a wall.
Sort of, yeah. It's where doubts, fears, inertia, they can stop us cold.
I love how Maria Nemeth normalizes this, though.
Mhm.
She shares her own experience starting her private practice. She was, pumped by the idea.
Mhm.
But then came the gritty reality. Finding an office, getting a business license, securing clients, all that physical stuff.
Yeah, the footwork.
Right. And 6 months in, she had only 5 clients a week, not the 30 she envisioned. She felt this immense disappointment, realizing it was taking far more time, money, stamina, just energy than she ever anticipated.
And that's precisely the point she drives home. Trouble at the border is universal. Every hero, she says, from Da Vinci to Mother Teresa, experiences it.
Wow, okay.
It's not a sign that something is wrong with you or your goal. Instead, it's a powerful validation. It means you are truly engaged in bringing a creative idea to life.
That's such a crucial reframe. It isn't a red flag to quit. It's the universe confirming you're actually doing it.
Exactly.
So if this trouble is inevitable, how does Nemeth suggest we navigate it? We can't just wish it away.
No, you can't. She emphasizes the critical role of external support. She likens it to ropes on a rock climbing course. You need those supports.
Makes sense.
Nemeth herself relied on money, time, physical vitality, creativity, and importantly, the support of friends to manifest her successful practice.
It takes a village sometimes.
It really does. And ultimately, she defines success not just as doing what you said you would do, but doing what you said you would do with ease.
Okay, this concept of ease. This is where I think a lot of people might initially balk.
Mm-hmm.
Take a moment right now, just listening, and ask yourself, would it be all right with me if life got easier? Did you feel maybe a slight hesitation?
It's common.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Many of us have this ingrained no pain, no gain mentality, don't we?
That hesitation is incredibly common. Nemeth explains that doing life the hard way often stems from a fear of failure,
Huh?
which can lead to perfectionism or staying in a comfort zone that paradoxically ends up feeling really stifling. As Helen Keller wisely put it, security is mostly a superstition. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing.
Wow.
The easy life she talks about isn't about avoiding discomfort. It's about facing it head on, using it as a teacher, not running from it.
So we're not talking about avoiding hard work. You can work incredibly hard with ease, right? Like a sculptor completely lost in chiseling marble.
Exactly. That's fundamentally different from struggling, which is exhausting and, well, joyless.
Right. Nemeth gives these great examples, like Dorothy, a retired librarian in her 70s. She initially feared leaving her son, felt she was too old for the Peace Corps.
Mm-hmm.
But by facing that discomfort, making arrangements, she joined the Peace Corps in Sri Lanka. Or Roger, who dreamed of a bagel bakery but was terrified of leaving his stable job.
The golden handcuffs.
Totally. He turned that fear into an ally, took on a business partner, started part-time. It's about being willing to look at the discomfort, not run screaming from it.
And this brings us to a foundational principle, being willing.
Being willing.
It's simply the power to say yes, even when you have doubts, worries, fears. All that inner chatter, the monkey mind she talks about.
So it's not about ignoring the fear.
No, not at all. It's not about ignoring the mental noise, but learning to say yes to whatever is on your plate, understanding it's there to wake you up somehow. It's an act of courage, really. And she says it's a ticket to a life of creativity and fulfillment.
Nemeth provides that powerful example with Margaret, the computer programmer.
Yeah.
Remember, she'd been pocketing rental income under the table.
Yeah, scared of the tax implications.
Right. Despite her fears of losing money, she became willing to report it honestly. And guess what?
She got money back.
Exactly. Her CPA found she'd actually get tax deductions and money back. But more importantly, she said, the willingness to clean up her money act lifted this big weight. It made her willing to be financially successful with ease.
That's powerful.
The core message seems to be, truly successful people are willing to look at the hard questions. They don't wait until they feel like it or for the perfect mood.
Absolutely. And to really understand our relationship with money, Maria Nemeth delves into these layers of our being. She outlines 3 distinct layers.
Layers, okay.
The outermost layer is who we pretend we are. You know, the face we show the world, often shaped by cultural norms, expectations.
The mask.
Pretty much. Sylvia, for instance, presented herself as this successful entrepreneur with her gardening business.
While secretly losing money.
Exactly. And being bailed out by her father. Even Nemeth herself shared her own discomfort trying to impress classmates at a high school reunion. We all do it to some extent.
Yeah, that rings true. So what's under the pretense?
Beneath that, there's the middle layer. Who we fear we are.
Ooh, that sounds heavy.
It can be. These are the uncomfortable truths about past money incidents we'd rather forget. Maybe carelessness, dropping out of school, not paying debts, things like that.
Things we feel shame about.
Right. And these fears, when unaddressed, they block our energy. Nemeth suggests that this blocked energy, though painful, reveals precisely where we need to take action.
So the pain is actually a signpost.
In a way, yes.
Yeah.
The discomfort itself is a signal that our actions aren't aligned with our core, which is the 3rd layer, who we really are.
Okay, the authentic self.
Yes. This core is a steady, unchanging place of wisdom and true nature. That part of you that just knows.
Okay, so how do we tap into that authentic self? How do we get past the pretense and the fear?
Maria Nemeth guides us to identify our standards of integrity.
Standards of integrity. What are those?
These are the qualities you admire most in others. Courage, loyalty, compassion, truthfulness, things like that. Your heart responds to these because they resonate as a potential within you.
So what I admire in others is actually part of my own potential.
Exactly. The exercise Nemeth suggests is simple. List people you admire, list the qualities you see in them, and then notice how your heart warms to those qualities. That's your compass.
Okay.
Once you truly know your standards, she says, it becomes genuinely painful to act in those cheating little ways with money or anything else.
Right. Like the public health professional example. Selling marijuana wasn't aligned with her standards.
Exactly. Once she identified her standards, she realized this practice was just out of alignment. She stopped. And within 5 years, her income tripled. She was head of a major program, and crucially, she could sleep at night.
Wow. Peace of mind is huge.
These standards of integrity then powerfully inform your life's intentions.
Okay. Connecting the dots now.
These are your deeper, meaningful purposes. They usually begin with to be an artist or to be physically fit, to be a great leader.
Got it. Not just to do something, but to be something.
Right. They're more organized, more compelling than simple wishes, and they're what truly pull you towards your most exciting dreams.
Now let's talk about goals again. Because let's be honest, why does that word often elicit groans from us, like goals?
Right. Maria Nemeth points out that many goals we set are actually just tasks.
Tasks versus goals. Explain that.
Okay, so getting out of credit card debt or filing taxes on time, necessary things, right?
Yeah.
But they bring only relief when completed.
Relief.
Yeah.
Not joy.
Exactly. That's the crucial distinction. True goals connected to our deepest desires, like that trip to the Caribbean or publishing your book, bring joy.
Okay.
Nemeth notes that people who are driven in life have learned to strive for relief, mistaking it for joy. Striving for relief is a form of driven behavior, and it's a trap. It keeps you on a hamster wheel.
So if striving for relief keeps us stuck, how do we focus our energy on those true joy-inducing goals? How do we make them more real?
Nemeth offers a really powerful technique called treasure mapping.
Treasure mapping. Like a vision board.
Sort of, but with a specific twist. It's creating a graphic, colorful visualization of your heart's desire on a poster board using pictures cut from magazines. The key is no drawings.
Why no drawings?
Because drawings, she says, are often influenced by our old limiting beliefs about what's possible for us. Magazine pictures represent possibilities already existing out there.
Interesting. So bypasses the inner critic a bit.
Exactly. This conscious act of visualization becomes an energy magnet, activating your power and putting you squarely on the path to success. It makes the goal feel more tangible.
Okay, so we've set our true goal, maybe made a treasure map, but then we hit those internal obstacles. Maria Nemeth calls them inner dragons, right?
She does. These are internal obstacles that can feel truly formidable.
Which one should we tackle first? Where do we start with these dragons?
Well, one of the primary dragons is fear. She defines it as false evidence appearing real.
F-E-A-R.
Got it. And pursuing goals just to escape fear, like trying to get money just to avoid poverty. That's a classic example of driven behavior.
Right, moving away from something dreaded, not towards something joyful.
Exactly. It wastes energy, brings no true satisfaction. This driven behavior can manifest as taking on way too much work, cutting corners, maybe refusing help, or taking unwise risks.
What are some other telltale signs of these driven behaviors? How do they show up?
Well, they often show up as repetition. Like Nemeth gives the example of Frank, who constantly waits until the absolute last minute to pay bills, creating stress every single month.
Or limited satisfaction.
Yes, where you achieve something, but you're too tired or worried to actually enjoy it. You just feel relief, not joy. And then there's perfectionism, which keeps you from finishing things because you're afraid of judgment.
Oh, perfectionism is a big one for many people.
Huge. And these can escalate into obsessions and compulsions. Recurring thoughts or repeated acts you feel you have to do to maintain comfort, like feeling you must have a new car every 3 years, even if you can't afford it, or being compelled to constantly check your phone.
And Nemeth connects these driven behaviors directly to addiction, doesn't she?
She does. She says when driven behavior overheats your mind, you might try to self-medicate with activities like compulsive eating, shopping, gambling, even workaholism. It creates this spiral of dependence.
Like Mark's story in the book, buying endless toys that just sit in boxes.
Exactly. A perfect example of spendaholism, often driven by that feeling of I deserve it, rather than genuine desire or need. It's chasing something that never quite satisfies.
That feeling of emptiness despite having things.
Precisely. Another profound source of scarcity she talks about is comparison,
Oh, comparing ourselves to others.
constantly measuring ourselves. When James fears he makes less than other agents, or Marge is upset her friend got the same truck cheaper, it just fuels discontent. We focus on those seemingly better off feeling one down.
It's a recipe for unhappiness.
Absolutely. But Nemeth suggests these comparisons, while painful, can actually reveal a deeper life lesson. Like Robert, who realized his constant salary comparison was masking his own loneliness because he was neglecting relationships.
So the comparison points to an unmet need.
Often, yes. And then there's maybe the ultimate inner dragon, monkey mind.
Monkey mind, I love that term. What is it?
Tibetan Buddhists call this the reactive, chattering part of our mind. It's in perpetual motion, plotting, scheming, making excuses, rationalizing, trying to avoid discomfort at all costs.
Like background noise that never stops.
Exactly. Nemeth illustrates it with Paul trying to climb Mount Shasta. His monkey mind told him, I don't have the time for training. Then when he failed on the climb, it berated him relentlessly.
So it sets you up for failure, then beats you up for it?
Pretty much. The key, she says, isn't to fight the monkey mind. You can't win that fight. It's to observe it, almost like a detached witness, allowing it to eventually fade to white noise.
Okay, observe, don't engage.
Hmm.
But how do we even begin to quiet that constant internal chatter? It feels so ingrained.
Well, monkey mind often informs your basic assumption. This is a fundamental, self-limiting decision you likely made early in life, like, I can't, or life is hard, or I'm not good enough.
And we don't even realize it's an assumption.
Often not. It feels like absolute truth because, as Nemeth says, we don't think it, we be it. Like Marlene in the book, who didn't even recognize life is hard, was her operating assumption until someone pointed it out.
Wow. And these assumptions then form our structures of knowing.
Yes. These are the mental paradigms, the filters our mind creates to process the world. They help us make sense of things, but they can become outdated and incredibly limiting.
Like blinkers on a horse.
Exactly. Like Alice, who limited her house cleaning business to 5 employees because she knew she wasn't a good manager. Or Paul, who almost lost an $8,000 car deal because he knew he had to buy it locally. It's contempt prior to investigation, as the philosopher Herbert Spencer called it.
So if these structures of knowing are holding us back, boxing us in, how does Nemeth suggest we dismantle them? How do we break free?
The path involves embracing paradox and confusion.
Embracing confusion. That sounds counterintuitive.
It does. Nemeth calls them the twin sentinels on the hero's path. She shares her own experience of feeling deeply confused about a job offer. But sitting with that confusion, allowing it, ultimately led her to clarify her true intention to become a minister.
So don't fight the confusion.
Right. She found that the harder you try to make doubts and confusion go away, the longer they stick around. But by allowing them, witnessing them without judgment, they lose their power. They become teachers, opening the door to what she calls miracles. Events that seem impossible but become ordinary with an expanded awareness.
That's a fascinating reframe. Confusion isn't a signal to quit, but maybe a necessary step towards deeper clarity.
Oh.
Okay, so that's navigating the internal stuff. What about clearing the path of old energy, old baggage?
A critical step there is forgiveness.
Forgiveness, okay. How does she define it?
Nemeth defines it as a practical 2-step process. First, you look directly, honestly at all your judgments, thoughts, feelings about the person or situation. Don't sugarcoat it.
Get it all out on the table.
Yes.
Good.
And second, you become willing to relinquish the permission to entertain those thoughts ever again. It's a conscious choice.
Willing to let it go.
Exactly. She recounts Marilyn, whose forgiveness of her sister for an $800 debt. It wasn't just about the money. It healed their relationship. And then, miraculously, the sister offered to pay it back anyway.
Wow.
Forgiveness, Nemeth emphasizes, isn't for them, it's for you. It's an act of powerful self-liberation. You stop carrying that weight.
That makes it so much more actionable. It's not about condoning something. It's about freeing yourself from that energetic drain.
Precisely. And speaking of energy drains, let's talk about promises.
Promises we make.
Yes. Your promise is your word, cast into physical reality. Keeping promises creates an energetic balance. It actually brings joy and builds power. Broken promises, however,
Fluffy drains.
big time. They sap your power, block the flow, and prevent you from really dancing with your dreams, as she puts it. Nemeth explains we're like conscious conduits channeling energy. While the source in metaphysical reality is infinite, our capacity to channel it is limited.
So we have a finite pipe, basically.
Kind of, and every time we don't handle money consciously like Stuart in the book with his unnoticed pay deduction, or Miriam just rounding up her checkbook balance, or Carol drowning in credit card debt, it creates unfinished business.
And that clogs the pipe. It clogs the pipe. It creates this burdensome relationship with money, like Tony, who got physically sick and missed a family reunion because of the stress from an unpaid loan to his uncle. It weighs you down.
That's a powerful illustration of the real-world cost.
Yeah.
So, what are some of Nemeth's most actionable tips for cleaning up this unfinished business, for clearing the pipe?
She urges us to consciously track spending, find the leaks, like Rick's daily fancy coffee habit.
Yeah.
Check your credit reports regularly, charge what you're truly worth, negotiate truthfully, set clear terms for loans with friends and family, put it in writing.
Get clear, get honest.
Yes, and she also stresses consistency, truth, and integrity when navigating money issues with partners, spouses, even children. It's all about clearing those energetic blockages so energy can flow freely.
Okay, so we're clearing the path, dealing with inner dragons,
Yeah.
but the journey continues. Obstacles still pop up, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As you continue on this hero's journey, obstacles will inevitably appear. But what's fascinating is how Nemeth refrains them.
So?
She says they are actually validations of your intentions, not invalidations.
Validations. How?
They mean you're truly on the path. You're pushing boundaries, moving forward. If no obstacles ever appear, you might not be challenging yourself enough.
Interesting. Okay. But what if it feels like only obstacles?
That could be a sign you're trying to do things the hard way, maybe out of alignment with ease, or perhaps you're neglecting to ask for support.
Support.
Yeah.
That brings us back to not doing it alone.
Right. Nemeth provides a 7-step process to transform obstacles into opportunities, which includes things like restating the truth of the situation, identifying any broken promises involved, and taking authentic action.
And that leads directly to dismantling that powerful myth,
Ah.
the idea of doing it alone.
Exactly. She illustrates this so well with the tale of the bricklayer who literally broke his back trying to lower a load of brick by himself when help was available.
A painful lesson.
Very. Asking for support, she argues, isn't weakness. It's actually a gift you give others, allowing them the satisfaction of contribution, which boosts everyone's self-esteem. She also points out how hidden codependence can actually keep us from truly receiving support, even when it's offered.
So it's about allowing others to contribute to our journey, which in turn elevates them. That's a nice reciprocity.
It is. Maria Nemeth even suggests forming a success group. These provide a powerful coaching context for mutual support.
What makes these groups special?
What's unique is that members are explicitly willing to help each other dismantle those old structures of knowing, to take authentic action, and crucially, to listen to uncomfortable truths from others, especially when they don't initially agree.
Wow, that takes real courage and trust.
It does. It's a powerful container for growth.
Okay, we've covered a lot. Ground realities, goals, dragons, clearing the path, support. What's the final principle Nemeth emphasizes? Where does this journey ultimately lead?
The final principle she discusses is gratitude. She calls it the gateway to abundance.
Gratitude, but not in a superficial, just be positive way.
No, definitely not. It's not about ignoring difficulties or, as she colorfully puts it, candy coating the cow pie.
Wow. Yeah.
Instead, it's about being willing to note, bear witness to, and see whatever is put before you, even the difficult circumstances. It's about allowing lessons and opportunities to emerge from both fortune and misfortune.
A willingness to see the whole picture.
Exactly. She shares Mark's story. After losing his job, he first had to process his anger, his frustration, his self-judgment. He didn't bypass that. But eventually, he moved beyond it to be willing to be grateful for the wake-up call the whole messy situation provided. It was a shift from feeling like a victim to regaining his agency.
That's a powerful shift. From why me to what can I learn?
Precisely. And genuine contribution, like Greg's consistent tithing to his church in the book, becomes a natural outflow of this gratitude. It's not about giving with an expectation of future return that stems from scarcity.
Right, giving to get.
Instead, it's giving from a place of genuine empowerment, abundance. And doing that creates an immediate rise in self-esteem. It puts you right in the flow. Nemeth encourages practical things like listing daily instances of gratitude, even tiny ones, and performing active demonstrations of integrity, consciously living your standards each day.
Living your values, showing
Yeah.
gratitude. It sounds like it leads to a different kind of wealth.
It does. Maria Nemeth concludes with Emmett Fox's fool's gold allegory. Material riches, she explains, can be like fool's gold shiny, maybe, but ultimately potentially deceptive if that's all you focus on.
So what's the true gold?
True gold, she says, brings peace, clarity, freedom from material bondage, and this profound sense of a larger presence, a connection to something bigger than ourselves. That's the real treasure of the hero's journey.
Peace, clarity, freedom, connection.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty good. So what does this all mean for you listening right now? You are a hero in your own financial story. We all are. Maria Nemeth's work reminds us that we are designed to connect not only with our dreams, but with a profound sense of ease in pursuing them.
And remember, your greatest lessons are often disguised as obstacles. Try to embrace them, too, for the profound gifts they might hold. Recognize the hero within yourself, and maybe in everyone you meet.
As we close this deep dive, here's something to ponder, maybe a provocative thought. What would it actually be like to approach your life, just for today, with a beginner's mind? Open to the miracles, big or small, that might already be surrounding you every single moment.
And bringing it back to that first question, would it truly be all right with you if life just got easier?
Join us next time for another